Hi Cancers, and welcome to your July 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully an amazing reading for your month ahead. So many highs and lows for you guys. Mostly highs, actually. I feel that things are starting to get a lot better. I feel that maybe it's not as bad as you thought it would be. Or it could also be a lot worse than you expected it to be, but there's something that's like not what you expected. You know, I think a lot of you were coming into summer this month feeling like, okay, there's something that I have to face here. There's something that I have to work through. And for those of you who expected that, it's like, wow, I'm kind of just coasting through. On the other side of that, there are some of you who kind of expected to have an easy, consistent summer, and you've kind of had to face a lot more than you expected. Some of you will be having birthdays in early July, and it's going to be good. For those of you who have already had your birthday, I feel that things start to get better, but for those of you who fall later in July, you might feel a little bit heavy or weighed down until you have your birthday when you get your solar return and you get your energy deposit for the year. Because I know that a lot of you have really been drained or kind of having a bit of bad luck. And ultimately, I feel that there's been a complete reworking in the process of your definition of luck or what luck is to you. Some of you may no longer believe in luck. Some of you may rely on it very intensely at the same time. It's like a lot of polarity in July for you guys. But through this polarity, I feel that you guys are building a bridge. You're building something into a more manifestable, if that's a word, type of reality. Because you do have the Magician for your central theme this month. So something is in your hands. You have the tools finally to create something for yourself, which is beautiful. But it feels that there might be people around you who aren't very supportive of this. There might be people around you who are like plotting your demise, or you might be fearful of that. And I don't really mean that literally, but you feel that you have people around you who do not support your ambitions. Maybe some of you have a really big aspiration that you've not even told people, or that you've not been able to tell people because you feel that they will not support you and you don't want to deal with that energy. There is an overarching sense to me of being very alone in your aspiration and being very separated from people in what you're trying to accomplish. I feel that not many people know who you are right now. I think that people have a very preconceived notion of who you are right now, and that's causing quite an emotional upturn for you, or an emotional difficulty. And when I say emotional upturn, I mean there's something that you have to face in how you feel when people don't know who you actually are. There's either a sense of stability there for some of you where you're like, I feel safe because people don't actually know what I'm doing, therefore they can't actually critique it. Or there's I feel inauthentic because I can't voice to other people what I'm doing with my life. It's like one of those two things. So you need to have a look this month at what your emotional reaction is to being alone in your experience, to being alone in your aspirations, what you actually want to do with your life. Do you feel that people won't respond well to that? Do you feel that people don't think you're qualified for that? Whether that be in relationships or career even. You may have a goal for a relationship that you've just gotten into that people don't support. Maybe you want to get married soon, or maybe you never want to get married. And it's like whichever it is, people want it to be the other way. So through your solar return this year, Cancer, it's about understanding how you are when you're alone in yourself versus when you communicate with other people. Because communication isn't really Cancer's experience. We kind of had that in Gemini. You're kind of past that. But I feel that the Saturn retrograde for you guys has taken you back to kind of a more Gemini experience where you have to understand what it is to communicate what you actually want. Because you can only get what you want, Cancer, through having some kind of very authentic communication, even if that is just with yourself. But there has to also be something with the people around you where you articulate what it is that you actually want. Because what wasn't working for you in the past about this was a kind of internal anger that you may not even been aware of people not supporting you, despite them not actually knowing what you wanted. So I feel that that's what pushed you into this place where you're like, I can't be honest with people. I can't tell people what I actually want because they never support you in the first place. But at the same time, you can't hold it against them when they don't actually know. It's like they're trying to form an opinion off something that could never have even been. And that's why it feels so unsupportive, because it was so blatantly obvious that that couldn't happen. And maybe there's also an underlying fear within you that I can't actually achieve this aspiration. I can't achieve this goal. Again, whether that's in your career, in your relationship, or in your family, or even in your health, there's a fear that you can't achieve your goal, regardless of what it is. and therefore you don't communicate it to the people that matter because you don't want to be broken down from that. There's something safe about being in this place of, okay, next month I'm going to start towards this process. Next month I'm going to really get this goal underway and get this aspiration working in the exact way that I need it to. And you don't actually kind of cross over the line, or you don't put it into action in the way that like an Aries or a Libra might, for example, or even a Leo. So Leo time will be important for you as we move into the end of July and through the beginning of August. You'll need to put something into place, or you'll need to do something, like some kind of actual forward action into your goals so that you can actually assess whether this is what you want. Because you can be a bit, what's the right word? Like, you see the future and you like the idea of what it is, but actually doing it is another thing. And you kind of don't actually step into an assertive, action-oriented place because you fear that you'll lose like the inspiration. I feel that's something real for you right now, Cancer, and you need, again, that has to do with your communication with self and how you communicate that to other people. Something not lining up in those spheres will give you that sort of experience in life. Anyway, I want to go ahead and look at this reading from the week to week, and we'll see more specifically what's coming forward and understand more. In the first week, you guys have 9 of Pentacles rooted down, reversed, rooted down by 7 of Cups. Again, this is where I'm sort of getting this difficulty in communication, because you want this ideal of the 9 of Pentacles, right? You want that. You want that sort of independent, self-sufficient, it's not necessarily luxurious, although it can be. You want to create a better reality for yourself by yourself through your own actions. You're not afraid to work hard for it. And through that, also help the experience of the people around you. But you're worried that through doing that, you will get the 7 of Cups experience where you're only focused on the goal and you lose sight of yourself. So you're kind of stuck in this place where, you know, I don't want to take the first step because I'm afraid that I'll lose sight of myself. I'm afraid that I'll lose sight of what's actually bigger for me, or that I'll get too concerned with the logistics of it all, with the money, with the things that aren't actually what it's about for you. Because Cancer is a money sign in a way, but only in the way that you like to have a lot of it in case of X scenario. You've got to kind of break away from these worst case scenarios, Cancer, because you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Like, what if I can't pay this? What if I can't do that? It is realistic to think about, but, you know, you don't want to be your own self-saboteur, you know, because of this, I can't do that. You know, take your time, really put a plan into action. I'm going to take 6 months doing this, I'll be a little bit more frugal, and then I'm going to do this. You know, you've at least got to have some kind of really action-oriented, forward-thinking movement on your thought process. Again, for the first week, I feel that it's just about understanding the difference. I feel like the sooner you do this, it will be amazing. Again, this... again, like, look at 9 of Pentacles and look at 7 of Cups. I feel that 9 of Pentacles is where you want to be, but 7 of Cups is where you're afraid that you'll end up. There's kind of like a longing to, again, and I know that a lot of you have been through a really difficult scenario, not so much right now, but it's usually in the past, like last summer or the summer before. As I said, in June, you're commemorating something, some kind of difficult experience potentially, and it's like you're longing to get some kind of closure, or you're longing to get gratification so that you can start anew, so that you can move forward in some way. And there's got to be an action of giving that to yourself in some way. There's got to be an action of giving yourself what you so desperately need from other people. That's really what it's about for you in the first week. In the second week, you guys have the Fool rooted down by Justice reversed, so you have the 2 major arcana right there. I feel that the second week will be the most memorable in July, because it really becomes a question of, like, what do you deserve? What do other people deserve? You want to start anew and you want this new exciting adventure, but you're thinking, do I deserve this? Have I done what is right to be in the place that I am? And oh my gosh, Cancer, please just do it. Like, it will be so nice to see you break free. It will be so nice to see you take the leap of faith, or to do that thing that you've always wanted to do. You know, don't concern yourself so intensely with logistics right now. I feel that it would be nice to become a better multitasker right now, and a lot of you are like, no, I can't do that. But some of you are better multitaskers than you give yourself credit for. I think that it might be nice to continue pursuing the goal that you've been working on for a really long time, as we do have the Saturn retrograde, so it asks everybody to do something that you've been needing to do for a long time, complete something. I feel that that's why you're really trying to measure your ideation or idealization of new chapters, because you're afraid that you're not going to be able to complete what you've been trying to do for a long time. But it's like there's got to be both. You're kind of at the crossroads, but there seems to be some kind of way that you can go down both paths at the same time, or maybe create a completely new path for yourself that honors both options, because it's all about options for you guys right now, as it is kind of everybody. It seems like most people can accomplish their goals, and they know that they can. They know that they can get to point B from point A, but there tends to be about like 17 different options of how you can get there. And I feel that what most people are doing are just choosing to get anchored down at point A and not go to point B, because they're worried that if they choose one of these options, then they'll lose all the other ones. You know, it seems completely possible for you guys to honor everything through choosing and to be able to do it all. You guys seem to be very good multitaskers right now. So just remember that when you're trying to accomplish goals, what road or what path can you take that really honors everything, that really gives you what you need and doesn't take away? Because I think that that's really what it's about. You're afraid that you're going to have something taken away, and maybe the option still hasn't come forward, because what I feel when I'm saying that, it's like, but we can't do that. We can't honor everything. It's simply not possible. It is, though. It is possible. That's what this reading is saying to me, is that it is possible to at least honor what's important to you. You might have to make some kind of sacrifice, but it seems to be a sacrifice that you're completely willing and capable of making. In the third week, you guys have Ace of Pentacles. You're down by Ace of Swords. To me, that says that you've done it. Like, in the third week, you've made the choice and you've started anew in a new way, which is beautiful, because the Ace it's like you're starting over with money and you're starting over with mental energy and ideas. Ace of Pentacles is about a gift of money. You could get the investment, you could get the promotion, you could get the new career path, and it tends to be something kind of given to you in a very ethereal way, which is really beautiful to see for you guys, because you've kind of been stuck in the later numbers. Again, you've got like 9s and 7s in this reading, so you choose to start something quite new, which is okay during this time. If anything, just to give you some sort of solace in the fact that you can do that. I feel that you start something new and then you also have an older thing running at the same time, which is nice. Again, this can relate to your career especially, I feel, for you guys, but it can also it can relate to relationships as well. You guys tend to be very monogamous and you are not usually prone to cheating or open relationships, but I feel that that could be a possibility for some of you, actually. And no personal opinion on that at all, but there is something about like having something new and old at the same time. And as that relates to relationships, maybe you're just not committing to anybody right now, and you're kind of seeing what your options are. It's not best. Like, there's got to be a lot of transparency right now for any Cancers who are actually cheating right now. As you know, my audience is so big, so I've got to like address everybody. Some of you who are choosing to cheat or choosing to have, even if it's not actually something that you've done and you're in the committed monogamous relationship, but you know that this could happen and you're sort of like flirting with it, that's almost like doing it in a way during these types of transits. So you really have to come to a place where you know what you actually want, because it might be good to just walk away from everything, if that's what you feel. Walking away from things while still supporting them by doing that, it's very much an oxymoron, I know. But to me, with the Saturn and Uranus transits going on right now, it's all about finding this symbiosis of, honoring the past, but at the same time doing something really new, and it's possible. The symbiosis is completely possible right now, and it feels to me like Cancer is one of the signs that does it, that is an example to everybody. And through that, you guys might actually take a lot of criticism from people who don't understand this energy. I feel that you might also take a lot of compliments as well. It's very polar. It's very opposite. You're going to get a lot of meanness and a lot of like extreme love during July. So that's why you've got to develop your own center, because you don't handle polarity that well sometimes. But that's what your spiritual experience is kind of demanding from you right now. It's like, build this center so that you can handle this polarity, and through this experience of handling this polarity, like sky's the limit, then you can pretty much just set your sights and shoot into whatever you need to do, because you are a cardinal sign, Cancer. You have more forward action than you give yourself credit for. You know, when we think of majorly assertive, self-starting, shoot for the stars type of signs, we think of Sagittarius, we think of Aries, sometimes we think of Scorpio or Aquarius even. And a lot of people don't think of Cancer, but it really is what you do as well, Cancer. Being a cardinal sign, you represent that as well. So it will be nice to see you be able to do that in some way, even if it's only energetically. In the 4th week, you guys have 9 of Wands, due down by Page of Pentacles. I feel that you think that you're working too hard for what you're earning right now. That's why you kind of started something new in the 3rd week. It could be like a lot of overtime in the 4th week, a lot of physical demand. For those of you who are athletes, you might really be upping your energy or doing like running further. For those of you who are runners, it's like you're going the extra mile and you're really putting in the hours and you're being very regimented about it. This is actually good during this time to be very regimented and to kind of push yourself slightly. For those of you who are athletes, but this can apply to relationships or jobs too. Like what feels uncomfortable, it's good to push it a little bit right now. It's not good to like, for example, if you're a runner and you usually run 2 miles a day, it's not a good thought to get this sudden burst of energy and choose to run 5 miles that day. Then the next day you run like half a mile. Then the next day you run 6 miles. Not good to do that, but it's good if you're running 2 miles, you know, run 2.5 miles and then run 2.8 miles. Slow, methodical increases give you a lot right now. So apply that to anything. With your career, if you're doing the overtime, you know, tomorrow work the extra hour of overtime. The next day do an extra hour and a half. Really measure yourself well when it comes to energy. Not so good to work like a 12-hour day, then sleep for 2 days to recover, then go in and work like a 70-hour work week. If it's possible for you to, you know, consistently regiment it out, it's perfect right now, but it's not always possible. And for those of you who it doesn't feel possible with, you really learn a lot. You know, you might even learn more than the people who can regiment, because for most of you it is possible to stretch out your time schedule a little bit. But for a very small percentage, it's not possible at all. And you will learn a lot during this time. It might feel really difficult, but there's a reason that during this time when it's been so necessary to not be stagnant and not be overworked, you'll learn a lot by being forced one way or the other. So it's good at the end of the day. And that being rooted down by Page of Pentacles, it's like, what do I have to show for this? What do I have to show for all of this work that I'm putting into everything? Maybe I have money to show. Maybe I wish I had more money to show. Maybe I have this financially stable, really strong, independent person to show for it all, who has entered in and has started a relationship with me. That's possible. Some of you guys could be starting a relationship in the 4th week with a Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo influenced person. It is possible for new relationships completely with the Fool and the Magician and 7 of Cups coming in. But with 7 of Cups, it's like you have the message that you have to let something go. You have to kind of put an end to this remorseful longing that you've been experiencing to pull in this more dynamic, motivated, aspirational person that could be coming in the 4th week. And, you know, with the Magician reversed being your central theme for all of this, there are a lot of ways to interpret that. For some of you, it's the energy thing. It's not having quite enough energy to feel like you're doing what you need to do. For some of you, it's too much energy. Like you have all of this want to be like setting the groundwork for everything, but something is preventing you from being able to do anything. So you're just kind of like sitting at home and you're like, wow, what all could I be doing right now? And you're kind of like going stir crazy. That could be. I feel that for the majority of you, though, and this is kind of something that I haven't even introduced into this reading yet, you're worried that you're being lied to by somebody. For me, that whenever I see the Magician reversed there, it's like, am I being cheated on? Am I being lied to? Am I being taken advantage of? And the Magician reverse is usually a sign for those of you who are worried that you're being cheated on in the relationship that you might be. And again, you can always like book a private reading with me or whatever, and we can look into that further, because I always hate to say things like that on my channel because I don't want to inspire some kind of like, oh my God, is the person that I'm in a relationship cheating with me, even though I've never had any signs. Usually the Magician reversed is saying that you already know it, or that you've been very paranoid or felt like you've been paranoid. If you've been thinking for like months leading up to this, oh my God, are they cheating on me? Oh my gosh, I smell a different perfume on him or whatever, then this can be a sign that yes, it's happened. But if you haven't even thought about it, I mean, it's still a sign, but it's usually not new with the Magician reversed. but at the same time, you don't really have the evidence yet either. So let me know in the comment section below, like, what your experience has been with lies and cheating, if you feel drawn to do that, because I've just noticed that with the Magician reverse, it's usually a sign with that. So let me know if that's been a part of your experience. Regardless, whenever the Magician comes up, it says that you have a lot in your hands to change your circumstance, and that's a positive. And it makes sense why we get the relationships that have the lies or the cheating during this time, because that usually inspires some sort of really drastic change in our lives. We either go out on our own or we become independent, because that's what the Magician energy is all about. Like, there's got to be more independence. There's got to be more manifestation. And perhaps this relationship that you've been in has prevented you from doing what you needed to do independently. So sometimes the person that you're in a relationship with will be pulled in by somebody else, or vice versa. And that is sort of your spark or ignition to start anew and to start more independent parts of your experience. It's not so good to try to continue things for the sake of continuity with the Magician reversed. It's good to start new, as is sort of reflected by the rest of your reading. And, you know, again, for those of you who might be cheated on, how can you take what you gained in the relationship and apply that to what you're doing in the future? Because I keep talking about, like, take something old and do something new with it. It doesn't mean that you have to make this relationship survive regardless of whatever, but if you can take something that you gained in the relationship or an idea that you had and apply that in a really positive way, you get a lot. If you can just apply your past to your future and sort of take a leap of faith with that and not use the past to hold you back and, like, be crying and sad about it, like, you're going to get a lot. I know that sounds kind of complicated, but it really is the key to this very difficult energy that we're dealing with right now with Saturn retrograde. I'm wishing so much luck to you guys. I love you so much. You know that some of my favorite people are Cancers. If you would like, you can click the center of the screen to book a private reading with me if you would have any more questions. Since we're also in your period of time for a little bit longer, Cancer, I have put the 2 past months readings on the screen right now too, so you can do some reflection if you would like to look back. I so appreciate all of your likes, comments, and subscribes. And if you're a new viewer, I would so appreciate your subscription. Much love to you guys, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.